Eddie Van Halen here, telling you, keep playing, man. Gotta keep playing. It's the only thing there is. Music, man. Keep playing. All right? I'm gonna come looking for you if you don't.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. It is September 28th, 2023, TransTrem Thursday. We got a great show for you tonight. 8:03 p.m., and we are ready to get started. I have to preface this with saying that I'm still having a little trouble with the pinched nerve, and I'm having trouble grabbing my pick, so I'm inevitably going to make some mistakes, but I don't care. Let's go. What should we do? Let's get on up. Wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. So let's get started, man. We've got some good stuff going on tonight. We got a lot to talk about, and we're welcoming back a guest that there was high demand for. So you guys asked for it. We got it. I had to continue begging and asking, but we got her. So let's welcome in everybody here. Let's see who we got. Oh, we have Mr. Symmetry Trev. Welcome in, man.
Cheers, my friend.
How's it going? How's it going?
Another day in paradise here, man.
Right on, right on.
Quick temp check. We're at 68, so
not bad in the tone check.
In the comfort zone.
Very cool, very cool. Let's see who else we got waiting in here. Let's see, there he is. He's Mr. John Shane. Hello. Welcome in, John.
Hey, brother.
How's your day going?
Good.
Right on, right on.
Sounded pretty good there, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
I do my best, you know. It is what it is, and, you know, I play how I play, so there we
As long
go.
as you can keep smiling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm having these fingers here where I hold my pick are fine, but these two right here, that nerve is shooting a pain down the bottom of my arm, and it's making that weak. Yeah, so I don't have the full grasp that I normally have. So
There'll be no flamenco tonight, is what you're saying?
well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm doing my best. I think that it's finally starting to get better. So hopefully hopefully it'll get corrected here. All right. Without any further ado, let's get in our special guest, Miss Natalie Thayer. Welcome back, Miss Natalie.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. We had, like I was saying, we had a lot of really positive response the last time you were here. Everybody kept asking, when's she coming back? We have requests for you to be on every Thursday already in the chat. So everybody loved you. We had a great time, and we thank you for coming back to see us again.
Thanks for having me. I have some exciting questions that were answered from last time I was here.
Excellent. Yeah, we had a list of them that
I got a few pinned up here on the board.
we got a few more. Well, that's nice to be able to relay them to the people that know. So yeah, we'll keep them coming. So just real quick before we get too far into the evening tonight, I need to give a big shout out to our channel members. We do have channel membership available if you'd like to help support the channel. It's just a monthly membership. If you decide you don't like it, you can always cancel it. But we appreciate everybody that's subscribed, and channel members, everyone listed there. Had a couple new ones, Randy Price and Damn Hippie. So welcome aboard, guys. We thank you. We appreciate it.
$59.99 plus tax.
$59.99. No, I think it's only $5?
$4.99.
And you get some special content. You know, I made a video the other day that was members only with me practicing some of the stuff that I do.
With your name.
And
That was a good one, too.
well, thank you. We've got our after hours hang that we'll do a show usually like 2 a.m. in the morning, just all of a sudden. And then we'll put that as
ripping up some Pink Floyd and stuff.
yeah, we'll put that as private for the members only later on. So there's some benefits. You get some cool emojis in the chat, and we appreciate the support. It helps us to continue to grow the channel. So we thank you. We thank you. All right, let me see who is here in the chat. Got a lot of folks hanging out already. A lot of chatter going on. So let's see. We're going to go through and probably just real quickly, we'll catch the channel members that we've got. Patty Dill is here. Welcome in, Patty. Good to see you. Let's see who else. We've got Fur Burfle here. We got All Dave All Night. Let's see. Who else do we have? There's All Dave All Night again.
All day, all night.
And there's All Dave All Night again. Boy, he's chatting it up. There's Symmetry. There's Jimmy Biter. Welcome in. Rob Blackmore Official. Glad you're here. Good to see you. There's Mr. William Da Silva.
Right on.
Let's see. We've got Mr. Mick. Welcome in. And who else? Mr. Stephen Franklin, of course. Welcome in, Mr. Franklin. I didn't forget about you on the backing tracks. I'm still working on that, so we'll see what we can get ready for you, Mr. Franklin. Let's see. Who else is here? There's Bo, Guitar Man 45. Welcome in.
Right on.
Let's see. Who else? There's R2R3 locking up.
I'm surprised
R2R3
Bo
is...
doesn't have a TransTrem, to be honest with you.
Yeah, what's up with that, Bo? Here's your contact right here. Natalie can help set you up. So,
Cheap
also,
like
if you're looking, there you go. There's the websites. There's the Reverb location. If you're looking for a TransTrem guitar, check them out. Let's see who else is here. Let's see. I think we have just about everybody. Nope. There's the greasiest of the Greasy Monkey Guitars. Welcome in.
More greasy.
Good to see you, man. Let's see who else we got. That's it. That's it for channel members here. So let's get going. I wanted to ask you, Natalie, about I saw an interview online. Tell us about that. That was Premier Guitar, I believe.
Yeah, so the gentleman that interviewed me, his name is Paul, and he interviewed me for Premier Guitar. Basically, he had spoken to Ned, and he had spoken to Ola, and he just wanted to get a retail perspective on the headless market, so he reached out to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really excited to see, headless getting some spotlight.
Very nice. Very nice.
And yeah, it's great because whenever headless, gets a little attention, then it gets, some positive feedback, and then you get a lot of people that just despise, headless guitars.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those you either kind of you love it or you hate it kind of thing. I know that a lot of people complain that with no headstock on there, it kind of throws off your positioning and your hand doesn't know where to go. Which I had a little bit of that when I was started playing this one, but you get used to it. It's just like learning anything else on guitar. You kind of get used to not having that visual cue there, so. That shouldn't be an excuse. Headless guitars are awesome, especially when they have a TransTrem on them.
Yeah, I get that a lot. People adjusting to not having a headstock when they're playing.
Yeah, yeah. So, any new inventory that you got? You showed us a lot of good stuff last time.
So we're getting a lot of XL2s in. This is not inventory, but this is a guitar that came in for restoration. And it's kind of interesting because it has a Roland synth on it.
Oh, nice.
So I'll show you.
I saw one of those recently for sale on Reverb, I believe.
So it's a little banged up, but this comes from a music studio in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the synth right here.
Very cool.
Oh yeah.
And it's been really adjusted. Somebody really wanted an eclectic sound. They knew exactly what they wanted.
Yep.
And we're gonna see how original we're gonna take it.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff's not gonna mess with the Roland, but we have someone who might, if he wants to replace it.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Now, was actually a factory option that they installed at Steinberger at the time, or was that an add-on?
So they did have synth add-ons, but this one looks aftermarket.
Okay.
So this is the Roland 2. The gentleman whose guitar this is, he'd like to put on a 3.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking today, I'd we were talking a little bit about the stainless steel refret and the question that we had for Jeff about, refretting. And I got to thinking, it's like, well, maybe I'll go ahead and send this one in and get it done and get a little touch up on a few things. I see a little bit of a surface, crack starting here in the finish down at the lower part of the neck. So he may be getting this one in soon, before too long.
Well, I'd love to see it.
I got to get my backup, ready. I got to get it back first. I can't have TransTrem Thursday without a TransTrem guitar. So
No, can't have that.
Catastrophic.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, I have another interesting one too. I'll just show it really quick.
Yeah.
It's I believe it's a GM4T. Let me just double check. So this one has like a really interesting wood grain, interesting color.
Oh man, that is awesome.
So
Nice.
yeah, he wanted to keep all the original cosmetics. Didn't want to do any cosmetic work to it
Mm-hmm.
because he has like a lot of attachment to like every little nick
Mm-hmm.
that it has and everything.
Has a little story behind every little mark.
Yeah.
Right? It's part of the person.
He went with full cosmetics though, or no, full mechanical.
Mechanical, yeah. Yeah. That's very, very cool. That's one of my favorite colors on any guitar, that transparent charcoal black.
Yeah, and I love the binding.
Mm-hmm. Very, very
So you'll be
nice.
sending that up to me, Natalie, for a quick evaluation, and then I can forward it on.
Yeah. We like to send customer guitars out to like
Right.
get tested.
People
Yeah.
in Canada.
Yeah. Where it sits in customs for 3 months before it ever gets delivered. Yeah.
Yeah, just everyone. It's a little bit of a warning when you send your guitar in.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
an eye
Coming to me
out
first.
for
Yeah.
Ryan sends his neck in and goes sends his in to get done, and
Right.
hey, John Shane's got it for a week.
Yeah.
An
What you
evaluation.
doing? Yeah. Or somebody be watching this show and go, "Hey, that's my guitar I sent."
Yeah, could be.
No. Now you had it was several weeks back, maybe even a month or so, you had a purple guitar. And I guess it sold. I saw it disappear from Reverb. I know sometimes they go up and you'll move another one in its place. if it didn't get any movement. Do you still have that one, the purple one?
That one sold. So that
It
was
did?
a customer's guitar that we sold on consignment.
Okay.
So people can sell their guitar or send their guitars in, and then we'll just like look at the bare bones that it needs, and then list it for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was seriously looking at that one and I was like, because it had a few dings and dents on that one.
Yeah, if you see,
Purple at all.
a lot of those are like a really good deal because they're going to sound great, but they just don't have the cosmetics. So there's players quality.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we should have an XL2 coming up that will be just like a player's quality, probably
Nice.
tomorrow or the next day.
Very cool. So if we have any bass players that are looking for a headless bass, XL2.
There you go.
We've got Bo Guitar Man 45 says, I'll pick one of those guitars up before the Summer Nights Gear Camp grand opening, so no worries, maybe two.
Right on.
So be looking for some messaging from Guitar Man 45, Bo.
The one thing that's unique about Bo is he will actually, that's guaranteed sales for you. He will do that. He is one of those guys that will
Yep.
hunt them down.
Once he sees something he likes that he wants it, he'll buy it.
We have some off-air hangs that we do with another channel, and Bo is in there often, and somebody will be talking about a specific guitar, and he'll say, oh, I've got one of those, and he'll come over and bring it, and then somebody else will mention something else, and he's like, oh, yeah, I got one of those.
I think I've
I
got
don't
one.
remember where it is, but yeah. So Bo definitely does have nice collection. Nice collection.
So I see a message from Quentin James about Ned, and that is true. Ned's not a musician, but however, I don't know if I 100% believe him. I feel like he plays a little bit at this point.
Yep.
So
We have a question from James Bridges. He says, any TransTrem basses?
yeah, so I have one XL2 with a TransTrem.
Now, those are pretty rare. Do you know how many of those were actually made, came out of the factory?
I don't have a number of how many of those came out of the factory. I know that my friend Doug, he's going to be putting his up for sale probably in the next month or two.
Okay. And that's one of those that I know that if you have one, you need to protect the strings on it as much as possible, because I don't know that anyone even makes the calibrated bass strings anymore. Is that true?
Yeah, those are very rare, and I 100% agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're so rare that I don't even have an answer to that at this point in time. I'm actually it's probably going to keep me awake at night. I'm probably going to, after we get off of this, I'm going to be up there looking through the strings.
Yeah. I'm sure that you probably have some, but I think I had read somewhere that they were just so rare that, the companies weren't making them anymore. So
Yeah,
It's like finding new old stuff, tubes and stuff.
I'm going to find the answer to that question for sure.
cool. Rock Daddy has a question. He says he's thinking about a Synapse. Which is the best one?
So I'm not super well versed on the synapses yet. However, I noticed that synapses are very desirable right now, and I definitely would recommend just doing a little bit of research. If you have any questions, reach out to me directly, and I can consult with different people that I know that would have a little more information.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. R2 is giving a thumbs up for Natalie. R2 is usually one of the co-hosts on our show. So he's on Sundays, and when you're on, he steps down because he works quite a bit on Thursdays, so it's hard for him to get here. So saying hello to R2. Miss you, man.
Brother.
Let's see. So let's see. Just seeing if there's any other questions here. There's Yostinator, channel member. Welcome in. Good to see you, man.
Right on.
So as far as the questions that we had the last show, let me pull up my list here. And I know you said you had a few of them had been answered, so we'll just go down the list here if that's okay.
Yes.
All right, let's see.
In no particular order.
in no particular order other than the order that I have them listed here on my phone.
There you go.
So there was, last show. If you missed that last show, why? Where were you? Go watch it. Not right now.
Yep.
But we had several questions that Natalie was going to take back and have answered for us. And I can't find my list at the moment. I know the first question was, I was super, super curious about, you had mentioned that nobody really knew, but the GL2T guitars, and I guess any of the headless guitars with the carbon fiber neck, had wood in it.
Yes, and I knew that there was wood in it. But I had a great conversation with Jeff after he was answering this question.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So-
first thing that popped into my mind was, what kind of wood? What type of wood? Was it a tone wood? Was it just, simply it just needed to be just any kind of wood? Is it? So you have an answer for us, I hope?
I have an answer. So
All right.
it has balsa wood.
Okay.
Balsa. Okay.
Does anyone know about balsa wood?
Well, that's pretty much the same as basswood, right?
I don't know.
It's definitely in that neighborhood. It's the stuff that those little airplanes are made out of.
Mm-hmm. It's real
Okay.
light.
It's
real
like a hobby
light.
wood because you can work
Yeah.
with hand tools quite
Yeah,
easily.
and it's super, super light. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's almost
So
like a
from
sponge.
what I know of it, that's what I know of it. So so balsa wood with every Steinberger ever made, except for the early prototypes,
Mm-hmm.
which this was explained to Jeff by Bob Young. So Bob Young was a former owner. He was really into carbon graphite and introduced Ned to carbon graphite.
Mm-hmm.
He explained to Jeff that by adding a hollow core, it becomes a tubular construction. So you're reducing weight by adding a hollow core because balsa wood is almost feather light, like we were
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
And the amount of material you're removing isn't removing much strength because it's a tubular construction.
Right.
So it's roughly about 3/4 of an inch thick and tapers and matches the shape of the neck.
Very cool.
So Steinberger used to get pallets of balsa wood, and the wood itself, it's going to dip down into the body. So the core of the body, the hump area, also has balsa wood in it.
Okay.
And all of this is to make it lighter. So you're removing 50% of the weight, but you're only losing 10% of the strength. So
Wow.
the original prototypes were really heavy, solid resin, and balsa wood was the solution.
Very cool.
Fantastic.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So basically, you're saying that it runs the whole length of the neck and comes down to, you said, the little hump area here, and there's wood in here as well.
Yes.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I mean, this, is super, super light. So I can see that, I always wondered about that, because if that was just a big solid chunk of carbon fiber, that would be a little heavier, and that kind of negates everything that he was designing, to have the headstock gone. So that's awesome. I don't know that that's ever been talked about, or I've never seen that before. So maybe we got a first on this channel.
I think we're going to have a few firsts.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see what the next question was. Are there any special precautions for refret on the phenolic fretboards?
So Jeff didn't go into too much detail.
I
but
didn't think that he would. Can't give away the trade secrets, right?
Yes. But he did say, please stop using WD-40
Okay.
on Steinbergers altogether. If anyone's guilty of that, raise your
Any
hand.
guitar, anywhere ever. What was it? WD-40. That's a
Yeah,
solvent.
I don't know.
Got a catalyst in it.
I guess if
The-
you had a guitar and someone had put a bunch of stickers on it, and you peeled the stickers off, and some of the glue was left behind, the WD-40 would be good for taking that glue off. But then you'd want to kind of wipe that off. That's
Well, I just bought a GL2T, and Jeff is like, I'm working on your guitar, and someone WD-40'd it.
Oh. Well, it's WD. It stands for water displacement.
displacement. Yeah.
So, I mean, does it kind of break up the finish on the guitar and then affect the overall pain on it? Or obviously it affects it somehow. He didn't go into much detail there, I don't guess.
Yeah, he didn't go into that detail, but I could ask him.
Well, it would gum up something terrible.
I certainly couldn't answer it.
Yeah, I would think so. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it pretty much evaporates and just leaves a slight film behind, WD-40, right? It's not really a lubricant. It's a solvent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So the third question we had was what determined the choice of the EMG pickups in the guitars?
So the EMG pickups had to do with Hap Kuffner. So Hap Kuffner was an owner and founder of Steinberger. And so let's say this happened in Brooklyn. So EMG was a new company at the time, and Hap represented them. And Jeff went into a little bit more detail with that, but unfortunately, I noticed a little bit of my notes were lost. And that's the truth.
The dog ate her homework, folks.
You always got to keep them wanting more.
Yeah.
No, I audio described it, so when he was speaking, it took notes, but unfortunately, it didn't do a great job.
Lost some of that. Well, no, I mean, that answers the question there. I got to say, though, that, I mean, it was a great choice. They sound fantastic. And let's see. Fourth question. Did Jeff aid in the development of the TransTrem, or was it complete finished when he joined the team?
So this is where I'm really disappointed, and I'm going to have another conversation with Jeff and get back to you guys, because he told me that when we were speaking, long story short, he did. So he was on the ground floor with the development of the TransTrem.
Very cool. Very cool.
And I know a lot about the first days of the TransTrem and Ned and everything, and it's all really fascinating, and hoping to share it one day.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that would probably blow our minds, if we heard, some of the backroom secrets of all this stuff. So
Yeah,
as much
it blew my mind.
as much information as we can pull from you, we're going to try. All right. How many variations and prototypes before the production TransTrems were made and ready to go?
So Jeff says maybe 4, and one of them went to Jeff Beck.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, yeah.
And there's a gentleman named Bernard, and he actually is involved in making Steinberger parts in Europe. And I believe he has that one.
Very cool.
Oh.
Very cool. So
Yeah.
do you know where all the prototypes are? Do you have a finger on where they are?
I know where P1 is. And P1, the gentleman who has P1, he should be bringing it here in the next few months.
Very cool.
So I'm excited.
Is he going to be having some touch-up done to it, or just bringing it by to show it off?
Well, he originally contacted me, and he wanted to get jumbo frets. And I immediately said, no, just leave it as is.
Yeah, I mean, you've got some definite history on a
The
prototype.
holy grail
like
here.
that.
You're not going to start messing
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not custom paint it.
Well, that kind of reminds me of an article that I read about, a 1959 Les Paul. If you're playing it, eventually it's going to need frets. So does it really affect the originality of it if you do a fret job on one? There's two sides to that camp. I guess
Yeah.
for Joe Bonamassa, you're going to play it. You don't care. You're going to refret it.
It's like Tim Pierce buys a brand new Gibson Les Paul, and then the first thing he does is send it out and get his frets put in.
Immediately has it done. Yeah. So I
Oh,
don't know.
no, perfectly good frets. Are you kidding me?
I think something like that with that type of history, though, I would probably
exactly.
I would agree with you. Leave it alone. Yeah. Don't touch it. Don't
No,
change
there's
too much.
players' guitars for that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
If I were to get a Les Paul, I would immediately rip the frets out and put jumbos in, but it wouldn't be a 59 Les Paul or a custom shop. It would be
Exactly. Or the first TransTrem GL2T ever made.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Just leave it be. Yeah. Might be one of those that should be in a museum.
One thing you can do if you want to extend the life of like your pickups, because pickups don't last forever, is you could put new EMG pickups in and just keep your old ones and always put them back in.
The original.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I still have the original ones that were on this guitar in the original faceplate, and they're wrapped up nicely. Still wrapped up from when Don sent it to me in the
that's awesome.
in the bag. So I've got that. That's going to stay original. So that doing my part to keep this one as original as possible.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah, it came off the line with that faceplate, correct?
yeah, no.
Maybe it will. Maybe it will one day.
If it
We keep
did,
dreaming.
if it did, it would be probably worth way more than I could have ever afforded.
Yeah.
Bo's got a
We
question.
got a couple channel members that have jumped in. Randy Price is here. Good to see you. And there's Boner Jams. Welcome in. And you said you saw a question somewhere?
From Bo. Bo was
All right.
asking. Where did it go? I don't remember. Does Natalie play guitar? She does.
I do. I need to. I need to play more. I keep missing days and like kicking myself.
Right? Got to get those hours in on summer nights.
Yep.
Before too long, she's going to be on the show
Jamming
playing
with us.
Summer Nights and playing it on GL2T. Yep.
You bet.
It's a dream come true.
Let's see. Any questions? Any questions in the chat? Put them in there. Put a big Q on them, or hit them with a super chat or something. We'll try to get Natalie to answer them for us. And if there's something that she doesn't know, obviously she has the contacts to get them
Pin it to the
answered.
board.
So anything you guys have always wanted to know about a Steinberger, post them up and let us know. So we talked about the Premier Guitar article that was written.
Yep.
We talked about all the questions there. I know there was something else, and sorry, I can't remember what it was. Randy has a question. Do you have any of the 12 strings?
So I don't have any 12 strings at the moment, but I have a double neck that has a 12 string and a 6 string.
You have a double neck?
Yeah, and the double neck is really cool because the tuner is really interesting. Ned was showing me. You kind of pull it down and you move it to get all the strings.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible engineering.
No doubt.
Yeah, very cool.
I can. I'll bring it down next time and I'll show you guys.
Very cool.
Excellent.
Let's see. Joe says, can you get a hard shell case versus the gig bags I mostly see?
Yeah, so we have 2 style hard shell cases. We have form fit, and then we just have like the regular ones. If you want like a snugger fit.
Do you have any original Steinberger cases
I do.
that don't have a guitar to match it?
I do have original Steinberger hard shell cases.
You might be able to ship to Georgia.
Or Canada.
Well,
I need the guitar first.
I don't know. Do you know if did these all originally come with a hard shell case, the GL2Ts, or did some of them just come in a gig bag?
I believe they came with a gig bag, but that's a really good question for Jeff.
Okay, because I purchased a hard shell case when I purchased this one, but it was, of course, one of your headless aftermarket ones, and I thought it would be really, really cool to be able to find an original that had Steinberger on it. Not that I don't enjoy the Headless USA logo on there, but
Yeah.
I thought it'd be kind of cool to find an actual
Screen
original
goes blank. Just all about
out of here. Yeah.
Well, I know what I'll be looking for tomorrow in the attic.
Let me know. 'Cause I'd like to maybe have one of those.
Yeah, it's definitely that'd be an awesome thing to keep your guitar and collect for collection value.
For sure.
James asks, what's the most popular Steinberger model that has been selling? I would assume recently.
So GL2Ts, I cannot keep them in stock. But GM4Ts in red go immediately as well to China or Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly China.
I notice a lot of guitars are listed overseas. It's unfortunate that there's not like a database that everybody that owns one can go and say, hey, here's where this guitar is. It'd be interesting to see, what the total amount of each model that was made. And,
How many are
I'm
around?
curious to see where they all are, where they all ended up. There's got to be some really, really nice gems that are out there that somebody has tucked under a bed, and it's been in the case for years.
Yeah, there's a few. I had recently mint condition GL2T that had never really been played.
Wow.
So we sold that one. But what was I gonna say? Andy Yakovic, who founded Steinberger World, he has a really good database on his website if you want to check it out.
Okay, very cool.
And recently, Gibson sent a customer to us and saying for us to identify a guitar. Turned out the guitar was a GL2T, but they said that they were updating their records in their database, so we'll see if anything comes of that.
Now, how do you know from the serial number, what year it was made, and is it just a consecutive numbering that they do? Let's see, can we see there it is.
So, I feel like it'd be really good to bring Andy on the show. I wonder if he would do it because he
okay, yeah.
he has such an extensive log of.
I don't love 4-digit
337.
serial numbers.
So that's a later one. That one is that's a much younger GL2T than I was expecting.
Okay. Yeah, I think that Don had said it was 86 or so, 86, 87.
Okay.
Maybe I misunderstood. That's why I was kind of curious if it was consecutively numbered. This was number 5,337 that was made.
Right.
Yeah, so they were definitely consecutively numbered.
Okay. So that definitely means there were many, many before this one, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I can find one that says
There were-
P1 on it or P2 or something. Let's see. Yostinator has a question. Can you tell us your top 5 favorite bands?
I can. It's a difficult question to answer, though. Top 5 favorite bands. Gosh, got me. Well, I love the band called The Band.
The band.
Let's see. I love Night Ranger. I love. I'm getting really into Eddie Van Halen recently. I listened to. Well, this is one of my favorite records. So this is Layla by Eric Clapton. I don't think it's possible to have 5 favorite bands.
Yeah,
Right.
yes. I mean, you could have a few that are up top, but it's going to be difficult to say this definitely.
Yeah. Van Halen is the only answer. Yeah.
R2. Had to be R2 saying that. Let's see. Bo says that the double neck he would definitely be interested in. So here you go, Bo. Let me put these back up.
Yep.
Well, we don't have it listed, but you can send me a message.
And there's a link to the website.
All the contact information would be on these 2 sites here. I would hope.
I didn't get the reverb up.
Trev's putting up the headless.
So Adam is saying his 3286 is October 1985. So that makes sense. I would think yours is late 86 maybe.
Okay. I can go and check the email. I still got the emails from all of the correspondence with Don.
Yeah, I'll find out too.
Yeah. Pretty sure that I think he said it was 86. I had, it was funny. Jeff must have like a perfect memory. And I mentioned to him about that second TransTrem custom guitar that I had. I sent him a picture. And I said, in just case you wanted to see her again, I sent a picture of this guitar. And he goes, oh, yeah, 5337. I remember her well. I'm like, what? How does he remember the serial number?
No, Jeff, he's freakishly smart. He's a genius. He's a genius at engineering. And his memory I just feel so blessed to just be able to hear his stories because they're so precise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
At 7:59 we had coffee.
If he would ever like to come on and share some of his stories, we would love to have him.
It'd be awesome to see him do that.
Channel member Six Fingered Assault has stumbled in. Welcome in. Good to see you, Miles.
Cheers, Miles.
From down under.
From down under. He's actually in the future. He's almost a day ahead of us.
How'd the show go?
Yeah. Let's see if there are any other questions in here. Let me take a quick look here. Yep, R2. Yep, Van Halen. Only answer.
Gotta
There's
step
that
away
one.
for a few
Adam
minutes,
said.
guys. I'll be right back.
Yep, 3286, October 1985. When was the actual first prototype finished? Do you know?
That's a really good question. I bet we could find that information in Steinberger World.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think it'd be really fun to bring Andy on the show and have him talk about, the timeline.
Yeah,
He's
very
really
cool.
he's really close with Ned, so he's got a lot of that information from Ned.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, anybody that you want to bring on,
Certified curator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Cecil says, "Are all the full body GMs wood? If so, what kind?"
It's a really good question. What type of wood? I know, there's like maple. As far as like the basic black with a white binding GM4T,
Mm-hmm.
I need to find out what kind of wood.
There we go. There's another question for next time.
Pin that one to the board.
Boner is asking, does anyone know where I can find a dope headstockless guitar? Recently
I
got
answered them
into
right
them.
already.
There's the links right down there scrolling. Let's see. Bryce says, that's awesome. It was born in 86, same year as 5150. Yeah, do we know what year Eddie's GL2T was?
It was younger than yours. I want to say maybe 85.
Mm-hmm.
But he also had other Steinbergers before so he had at one point he had a hardtail.
Mm-hmm.
And before he had the GL2T, as well as some basses.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dan says, long live Van Halen. Boner. He's not the biggest Eddie Van Halen fan. I don't know why we keep him around in here.
Right. Yet he's surrounded by Van Halen fans. So
Yeah.
he does it to himself.
R2 D Tuna is here. He says, can you ask Natalie if she got my email about a GM4T, GS7TA, GL2T, and 2 GPs?
Oh my goodness.
have.
I don't think I got your email. Send it to headlessusa@gmail.com.
There you go. James asks, is Labella still making Steinberger strings? I can answer that with a definite yes.
Yes, they are.
Labella and D'Addario are the only ones making them, correct?
The only ones at the moment.
Yeah.
But you can always get a string adapter and use any kind of string you want.
Which I have one right here, which was actually sent to me by Patty Dill and the crew, the young crew. So if I ever need it, I've got it. Thank you, Patty. I don't know how that would quite work though with a TransTrem. Do you put it in, lock it down, and then tighten up like you normally do? How far do you know how much tension to put on it before you lock them down?
Start, right?
Yeah, like I personally would recommend only doing it for the hardtails, personally.
Right. Yeah. Be difficult on a TransTrem guitar. Randy says, I'm sure this was asked last week, but did they ever come with anything other than EMGs?
Yeah, so they came with Bartolini's. So I saw a lot of more Bartolini's on the Q series that were made in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember that coming up because when I hear Bartolini, I think of Bart Simpson in some kind of an Italian skit.
Yeah, Mr. Bartolini passed away recently, so.
He did. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, he also made the pickup that was in the Kramer Ripley guitar that, Eddie famously
All the
used.
knobs, right?
Yep. And I know that to this day, a lot of people really, really like the Bartolini pickups.
Yeah, Jim Bridges is in this chat. He really likes the Bartolinis.
Very cool.
Now,
Let's
are they
see.
active? Does that take a 9-volt battery as well?
I actually am not well versed in the Bartolinis yet.
All right.
Yostonator says
I know that the EMGs are active.
Yeah. Yostonator says he's going to order a few of the Babbitt's Strat bridges. The full
awesome.
contact. Very cool.
Nice.
Now-
I can give him a discount on them.
Awesome. Let's see. Who are some of the celebrity endorsees of what? Steinberger guitars? That would have been years ago. We know that. Well, was there any artists that were actually Steinberger artists
Tons.
that you know of?
Tons. And one of them is Jace Fincher, Blue Oyster Cult. Yeah, there is many. Towards the end of it was mainly like the Qs that were the guitars or the basses.
Yeah. I know that I know there's a lot of players that played Steinbergers. You know, I know that Sting played a Steinberger bass. You know, we talked about last time, I think, Vito Bratta from White Lion. Eddie, of course, played a Steinberger. He was, would you say that he was probably the most famous guitarist or musician that played Steinberger?
Eddie or Vita?
Gilmore.
Eddie.
Eddie. Well, you know, the first time I spoke to Ned, he had a lot of gratitude and warm things to say about Eddie and what he did for Steinberger.
Right.
So that stood out to me.
I know that was my introduction to them. You know,
For and with. I mean, he's one of the pinnacle creators to utilize such an instrument.
Yep. Definitely had a lot of influence on me. I know you can't tell, but yeah.
Well, it's been a minute.
Definitely my introduction to them was, you know, Summer Nights and Get Up on Live Without a Net.
Yeah.
Quentin says, I did not care for the boat paddle guitar, but I will say this, it was one of the best playing guitars I ever played. You know, again, you either love it or hate it. I like the functionality of the guitar, you know, and I really think that probably had a lot to do with the design of this. Was, you know, lightweight, balanced, the ergonomics, it's comfortable to play, and it works. It just does what it's supposed to do. So, I mean, I think this is a genius guitar. You know,
yeah, I would say to Quentin to try the GM if he doesn't like the paddle, if it's the boat paddle shape. So.
And if the headstock really bothers him, you can just cut out like a little headstock out of cardboard and maybe duct tape it to the head there. And
sticky tape it to the end. Yeah.
Now I have something to say to people when they say that.
Right? Let's see. What else is going on in the chat here? Rob says it would be nice to see Headless USA and EVH collaborate to put out a tribute GL2T in Eddie's memory. I think that would probably be something that would have to go through Gibson. EVH.
Well, I think the issue with that is that Fender owns EVH. The Fender and Gibson are at the opposite spectrum, so
right, Coke and Pepsi.
Yep. One is not going to help the other, I'm sure.
Mexican, real cane sugar.
Well, you know, there could be some compromises. You know, it could be, hey Fender, we'll let you use the hockey stick Explorer headstock, you know. And, you guys can do this with that. So, I mean, you never know. There could be some negotiations.
Yeah, I hope so.
We should get a petition going. A petition for everyone to call out Gibson to bring the Steinberger line back. Get the TransTrems back out there.
I'll sign on the dotted line today.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll see you.
In blood.
All right.
Same.
I'll see if I can figure something out. We'll get a petition. We'll have everybody sign it, and I'll send it to Aljon. Aljon, go. Are you here anywhere? Are you watching? Let's
Type
see.
a one in the chat if you're here.
XQ3 has Bartolini's. They are awesome. Right on. Mr. Stephen Franklin. Thank you, Mr. Franklin. We appreciate that support. You didn't have a question to go along with it? Get your question typed in.
No,
we'll get it
because
answered.
he's done it before. He knows how it works.
Right? Let's see.
There's no question. There's no question. Just some love.
Cecil says that GHS makes strings double ball in for Steinbergers too.
Huh. I'm gonna write that down and take a look at that.
Yeah. If they make them, they may be double ball, but they may not be calibrated for a TransTrem.
Double ball boomers.
All right. Yep, Randy,
Yeah,
Getty
where's
Lee.
Kiesel getting all their strings from, right?
Well, those work differently. Those work, you pull the
What
string
Ivan
through
uses, the
and you lock it
Strandbergs.
down.
Do they
Oh,
all
okay.
use? Okay.
Yeah.
Locking nuts.
Yeah, you lock them down on that end and then tune them. I've never personally done it, but I've looked at the headstock and I can see
What
where.
about those weird Tosin Abasi guitars, ergonomic headless things too? No,
Same thing, just a
Yeah,
regular
lock
string.
nut.
Yeah, they lock them
they're
down,
like 8 strings or something.
clip them off. Yep. Let's see. Quentin says most people know this. For those that don't, if your guitar has a 9-volt battery, unplug it when not in use, or you'll quickly drain the battery.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple dozen dead 9-volt batteries over here, Q.
Public service announcement from Quentin James. Let's see. Bass player from Journey played one, but I'm not sure if he was endorsed.
You know, Sean.
Was that Randy Jackson that played a Steinberger back then? I remember.
I feel like Andy Yakovic will answer the who was endorsed. I feel like he has a really good log of those things.
All right. Well, Andy, if you want to come on, let me know. Send me an email. It's in the description underneath the video over there.
Right on.
Love to have you. As much information as we can get. Let's
Did
see.
Mike Rutherford ever do anything with the TransTrem, or he just played it?
That's a good question. I'd like to know the answer too. Yeah, I know he played. I know he played a lot, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's Genesis guitars,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know he had played one. Lawnmower Tape says Alan Holdsworth played a TransTrem. I think that
Could see that.
didn't he used Carvin guitars that were headless, and I think he had TransTrems put on them. That's what I'm remembering anyway.
It'd be a luthier's nightmare. Make this work. I want this.
So says that a lot of his parts guitars have Babbitt's hardware. It's all good quality. Right on.
Right on.
That's great. I like what Adam wrote.
It's probably way down.
Okay.
It is. I'll get it. You want me to tag it?
Yeah, go ahead. Any interest in a TransTrem version 1 setup tutorial? Absolutely. I'd
Yep.
love to see. Yeah.
I'd watch that.
I know that it's held in with a screw. I don't know if it screws into actually the little ball end. I don't know how that works. Is it a little ring that the screw goes through? I would be absolutely there to watch that for sure.
Yeah.
So big, solid yes.
Oh, you got the shotgun ready?
Hey, there's Dwight.
The Hitman.
The Hitman Bailey. Welcome in, Dwight. Good to see you.
Cheers, man. Okay, get back to it. Tag, you're it.
Yostinator says, speaking of Al John Go, I have the new Epiphone Bonamassa 63 SG custom incoming. Right on.
Yeah. Oh, tasty.
Would love to hear what he thinks of it when he gets it.
James says, can you go over calibrated versus non-calibrated again?
Mazel.
Do you know the technicalities of that?
No, but I could come back with the technicalities.
Well, I kind of
that
know
one?
a little bit myself with with actually
Yeah, when
owning
you've done
a,
it.
TransTrem guitar. The
What's that you
core,
got there?
it's a Steinberger GL2T with a TransTrem.
She's a beauty.
The string has to be a certain length and a certain diameter, as far as I understand, and it has to be within a certain amount of tolerance for it to be able to transpose properly. So calibrated just means that it's manufactured with the measurements that Ned had put out for the strings to be within a certain tolerance. So it's nothing special about
Don't
it.
know
It's
what the
not.
tolerance is? Like we're talking thousandths of an inch?
I
Hundredths
think you
of
can
an inch?
find that information online somewhere.
Google search, right?
Yeah, I think but it's a pretty tight tolerance. So you have to have it just right for it to be able to transpose properly.
My
So
favorite firefighter in the whole wide world.
Andy Carson, whoa.
You
Thank
have
you,
a
Mr.
pass to be
Carson.
late anytime you need to be,
You
brother.
can, you can come and go as you
Later the
please.
better.
Whatever.
There's a correlation going on there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Really supporting the channel. Let's see. All Dave All Night says, honestly thought that was you saying $. Didn't realize until Ryan mentioned it. R2R3, you want to jump on real quick and introduce yourself to
Plenty
Natalie?
of room.
If you're not too
comfy?
busy, R2, jump on in. But we'll introduce you to R2 and we'll let you. He really sounds like the person saying money, money. Dollar.
He does
When I
this-
first
get him
got
to
that
sing-
little sound
sing
clip,
for
I
you.
was like, that sounds like R2. Let's see. Ross Valerie was the bass player for Journey. Randy Jackson was also a bass player for Journey. Ask me how I know. 1986, Raised on Radio. Saw that concert. I remember watching them. Boner says a dude from EMF played a Steinberger.
I don't know if I believe that. Pixar didn't happen, Boner Jam.
You got to come with proof. Cecil says Rick Derringer was a big Steinberger user. Let's see. Did a guy in Depeche Mode ever play one? They certainly didn't when I saw them in concert. My brother liked Depeche Mode, and he asked if I wanted to go, and I was like, yeah, okay. I'd heard their music. And, I'm used to going to, Journey, Van Halen, and, everybody playing guitar and this and that. And we go to Depeche Mode, and there's 4 guys with 4 keyboards in front of them. Like, what? Yeah. So it was different. Yeah.
But
Cecil says Babbitt's full contact hardware is rock solid. Do you know what Babbitt's his website is? Is it just babbittsguitars.com?
Let me take a quick look just to. Because there's 2 websites. There's Jeff Babbitt's and there's Babbitt's. So fullcontacthardware.com.
Fullcontacthardware.com.
let me see if I can get a link for that.
Right on. Cheat says TransTrems were huge in the 80s. We're trying to make them huge now. I don't know that they really ever gained as much popularity as they really should have. I think that back then a lot of people were probably confused by it or thought it was too complicated or didn't understand how it worked or didn't realize the potential.
HTTPS. It's not HTTPS. I'll continue. I'll roll it on. This site can't be reached. Oh, come on.
So I think that, with a lot of the players that used them back then, raising more awareness of what they could do now, if more people understood what it actually did, I think that it would just be in huge demand.
I think, too, back in the day, in a rock genre, guys weren't as savvy musically as they are today, right?
You think?
Back then, I mean, we had our greats. We did. But, I mean, we're talking guys like Tobin and Bassa, and all the new generation of players, right?
Right. Yeah.
Would be able to take this thing and go, okay, it goes up half step, full step, does this here. That could be a functioning part of their playing, right?
Yeah.
Whereas put an old guy like me, who knows his way around the fretboard pretty well, once I start doing that, I got to start thinking. You know?
Yeah.
I think, that maybe a lot of guys got about that far and then they're like, oh, geez, I don't like feeling dumb.
Right. I know that, we both are big David Gilmour, fans, John and I. Trev obviously likes Pink Floyd as well. But, he played, if you listen to the actual recording of Sorrow that he used the TransTrem on for that intro, he really didn't use it to its full effect. He used it to change the pitch of a chord, and which is cool, but, we're going to go back to Eddie again and his genius. The way that he used it and changed chords in the middle of a song, going back and forth, it just
Integrated into his
integrated just perfectly. I think that it was just another one of those things that he understood what it did, and it just naturally came to him. And I think he did the most he did the most musically pleasant things with it. You know, of course, there's a lot of artists that I haven't heard that played them, so I got to be careful saying that. But for me,
Reeves
what
Gabriel,
I've heard,
Reeves Gabriel and Alan Holsworth.
Yeah,
did some
Reese
very-
Gabriel's a big one.
yeah,
and they did some very interesting stuff with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's some of it's not easy listening, right? It's challenging to listen to. Some of it is really cool. But
Yeah.
you can kind of catch the wave of what they're doing. It's like,
yep.
Jesus.
Well, it really amazes me too with a lot of the modeling and things that are available today. You know,
Yeah.
we mentioned it on the last show, and we had a guest on, and he does repair work. He does John's guitar setup and so forth. And I mentioned the TransTrem, and he says, "Well, you can do all that electronically now." I'm like, "Yeah, but it just doesn't sound the same, you know." So I don't know. You got some people that may want to see it come back. Probably a lot of people that don't realize what the TransTrem can do, and others that would be happy with just doing it digitally with a Digitech whammy pedal or something.
Well, they have that stupid thing that
True.
you put on your guitar too, right? That
Yes.
Not even the whammy
Piece
pedal.
of
There's
shit.
that one that'll go half steps, in like
yeah, yeah,
6 or 7 half steps in each direction.
yeah.
Right.
I think that if more people got it in their hands and actually played it, and you know, it's one of those things that as you're playing guitar, you kind of connect with it. And I always talk about the way a guitar feels as I'm playing it. And there is nothing like the feel of playing a TransTrem and dropping it back down into a different chord in the middle of a song. Just a stupid grin that it puts on your face because it's so freaking cool. You can't do that with that little digital stuff that goes wee, you know, makes all that nasty noise
Recently, you were
behind it.
trying to do some kind of heavy metal-ish type stuff on the TransTrem to see how that would work. And doing those, when you go down to that low setting, you can
Mm-hmm.
chug like, you don't need no 8-string, 7-string guitar. You can just,
Yeah, yeah. I would be really, really curious to see what some of the current musicians could do.
Yeah.
So
what came
too.
first? I guess the TransTrem versus a D-Tuna. When did the D-Tuna evolve?
Oh, that
I
was-
wonder if
that
it
was
these
long,
are-
long after.
90s.
Yeah,
90s.
yeah, yeah. I think the first
And
that
you
we
need to get a
started.
D-Tuna into the Steinberger where you can throw that thing down to a drop tune.
Well, that's why you need to have two. You know, so that you
One
can
for
have
drop
one
Fair
that's
enough. But then you got to use
calibrated.
the uncalibrated version with your little lock nut, right?
Well,
Well,
even just
Can you
using
do a
it
drop
as
tuning with the
as
calibrated
a-
strings?
Say what now?
Could you do a drop tuning with the calibrated strings?
Yeah, the other guitar that I've got, I set it up.
Well, I know, but that one's not calibrated, isn't? That's the lock nut one, right?
Yeah, no, I could do it with this one. I could tune this
Yeah.
to a D, and then go through the calibration steps, and it would drop and raise in that drop tuning.
And that takes you about 5 minutes. Just
Yeah, that doesn't take long. Doesn't take long. I'm not going to do it tonight. No, no. That's why you need two TransTrem guitars if you
Right.
want to do
But
that.
even just to use it, like even if you weren't transposing it, just having the ability to, hit a chord, and
yeah,
modulate it.
for lead lines and stuff, if you're doing double stop stuff, and yeah, killer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Gibson needs to bring it back. Let's get that petition going.
Bring it back, Al John.
Yeah, let's
Is
do
that
the
what you call it?
petition.
R2D Tuna says David Bowie had a beautiful GL with a mirror finish. Right on.
Yeah, fun fact, it was actually metal.
Oh,
Was it?
Yep.
This
I,
was a.
I wish I remembered exactly.
I
More
thought she was
detail.
about to say, "Oh, I have it here."
Yeah,
I wish.
Let me get
Give me a
it.
minute. I'll go upstairs and grab it.
There's no telling what she may have hidden. Let's see. Holsworth had serial 6215, had a white faceplate. Let's see. Rob has a question. Do we know what style of headless guitar Paul Stanley played? Was it a GL2T as well?
I know what it looked like. I believe it was. I don't want to be wrong. It was a GL. I believe it had it had stickers on it, or like. We'll talk about it next time. I have to look it up. I'm looking it up right now.
See, that's the beauty of these. You know, we get some questions answered and a whole bunch more come up for next time.
Right.
And everyone heard that, right? She just committed next time. So we know that Natalie's coming back. We haven't scared her away.
So here's Paul Stanley, one of his. I don't know if you guys can see that. Nope. Anyway, it has women on it.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
Makes
so he had a body glove one.
Body glove. Wow.
So that's what a body glove.
yeah.
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 Let's see. Holdsworth had a prototype ZT3 as well. Do you have any of those newer models?
full of
The ZTs?
I have some Z Trems, or some,
Yeah.
but I don't have a ZT3.
Gotcha. R2D Tuna is saying, please give us that TT1 tutorial. Absolutely. I would love to see
Yeah.
that. All right, let me catch up in the chat here.
I love watching other players do things with maintenance and stuff that I would be too afraid to do. So.
Boner says, does Natalie listen to Depeche Mode or other dope music from the 80s?
I do listen to Depeche Mode.
They actually are coming here pretty soon.
Nice.
October 15th or 16th, I think. Let's see. I actually was thinking about getting tickets to go see my brother that really, really liked him. He passed away. He had leukemia, and it's been several years, but that was one of his most favorite bands. So I was thinking it'd be cool to get tickets and go see it. You know, get 2 tickets, save a seat for him, and go watch Depeche Mode.
Aw.
Let's see.
80s
Todd.
band. I'm going to go
Horth.
see Peter Gabriel next weekend.
Right on.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he gets his strings. Gosh, David Rhodes gets his strings from us
Very
before
cool.
his tour every year.
Well, you're about the only place that carries the Steinberger labella strings, as far as I know. Well, the calibrated ones anyway. That's the only ones I purchase. I know that there's another website that sells the non-calibrated, but let's see. David Gilmore, yep. He had a couple, and he sold those in that auction that he did not long ago, right?
I think I Google searched it once and saw that he was playing this TransTrem when he was playing, or Steinberger at least, when he was doing the Kate Bush stuff too. He did some Kate Bush stuff.
Yeah. I remember that. Jimmy says, my first headless guitar was a Gibson Les Paul that I dropped.
I hope that's not true.
Speaking of Les Pauls, just real quick. I'm trying to figure out a name for this new girl.
I told you the name.
I made
So-
my suggestion.
I picked this up last week,
What do you think?
Wow.
and just wanted to get your opinion. I need some ideas for a name for this girl.
She's beautiful.
Thank you. We've got some good suggestions so far. I was thinking of Claudia, because it's like tiger stripes, you know.
Yeah.
Claudia.
You remember what I suggested?
I do.
Of the Jungle?
Yeah, Sheba, I think it was.
Sheena.
Sheena.
Of the Jungle. Remember? She was
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like the Tarzan.
Yeah.
What was it?
Let's see. All right, trying to catch up in the chat.
Maybe we'll get some more suggestions. If you've got a suggestion for the name of that guitar, throw it in the chat.
Absolutely. R2D Tuna, I agree 100%. Steinbergers are still the most sophisticated guitars made even after all these years later. And that's
Yeah,
that's
what
what
about
really
that-
surprises me is that, you know, nothing against all the new Strandberg or the Headless Ibanez or any of these other guitars. This is the original, you know, and I think it's probably the best looking and design one. I know a lot of the stuff has now the fan frets or the, you know, the calibrated squiggly frets or whatever, and
Freaky
that's
shit we don't deal
that's
with.
cool. Yeah, maybe we're just too old.
Yeah.
We're like, what? But I don't understand why, you know, these things need to be in production again. So come on, Gibson.
I saw a thing the other day. Speaking of Peter Gabriel, I think it's Tony Levin's playing bass for Peter, isn't he?
He's always been played
I
bass.
believe so, yeah.
And the Chapman stick Yeah, I've seen him playing that thing, and it's like, yeah, okay, well, what a weird thing. You think it's like some kind of a harp thing or whatever, but I stumbled into
interesting.
an explanation of what it actually is. Him doing a little breakdown. It's like, okay, yeah, like, this is a bass, this is a guitar. Most of what you got to do is all legato hammering on stuff.
Yep.
But basically, you got two instruments Siamese twinned at each other, right?
Sort of. Yeah.
Weird.
It's very weird.
Killer. Guys who can play it, it's amazing.
Bo
Yeah,
says
he's a master.
that is one carving guitar I do not have is the Holdsworth. For some reason, never got to it. There you go.
Yeah, he's
There's
got
you another
half a
one for
dozen
your list, Bo.
carving guitars.
2
Let's see.
TransTrems and a Holdsworth.
May 89 Guitar World features Alan on the cover with a white Steinberger. There has to be some live footage of him playing that. Let's see. Andy says, hey, Natalie, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Excellent.
Let's see. I am way back in the chat.
Yep. We'll give you a minute. Do some
Cecil says,
leapfrog.
listen to Loser in a Fight by Fraley's Comet. Todd Haworth makes great use of the TransTrem. Did I say
Hey.
that name
A
right?
lot of good comments.
Howard.
Haworth?
Todd. Yeah, Todd.
Okay, yeah, there's Jill with the body glove stickers.
Yep.
Oh, you're way back.
I have a D-tuner on my Steinberger GP2T. Bought it from Japan for $900. Whoa.
That's interesting.
Pixar
Wow.
didn't happen.
Yeah, let's see that. Let's see that.
No, the email's in the description.
Email is in the description. Let me see some pictures of that. Let's see. How you doing, Natalie? I know you said you were a little under the weather.
Yeah, I'm a
You
little
doing
sick if I sound nasally.
You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. So I have a GP2T in red with a black faceplate that's going to be coming up for sale soon.
Right on.
I
Cheat
can
says,
stand a little longer.
okay, all right. Anytime that you feel like you need, just let us know. How many Steinbergers does Natalie own currently? I think you answered that last time. It was like 90 or something like that.
About
90 in the
90.
house.
Yeah, yeah.
Give or take.
Quite a few of them. All
How
right.
many
Let me,
TransTrem Steinbergs do you
Not 90. Probably 30 or 30 to 40. 30.
own? Man. I know where to go.
once I build up the guitar fund again, which was just depleted,
Right? Worthy cause, though.
we're going to be talking. We're going to be talking. All right. Let's see. Cheat says Tequila Sunrise for a name of the guitar. Nelson says name her Natalie.
That would be a little.
No, I don't
Odd.
think so. No.
Just a little.
Yeah. Guitar Man 45 says Jenny. Oh, man.
Jenny! You're not saying it right here. But
Jenny. Adam says Gertrude 100%.
Gertrude.
Okay, I think I'm catching up
Stella.
here.
Bella or Stella.
I mean, Gertrude
Cecil's-
always gets short. The Gert.
Aside from the transposing feature, the use of rollers and bearings makes for a great trim. I would agree, as long as it's not a Kaler. I never did get along with a Kaler.
And if you send your TransTrem into Jeff, he'll burnish your roller saddles, polish the bearings and everything.
Right on. Yeah, I had that other guitar that I had. I was gonna send it to him. Actually, that's what I was emailing him about. And I decided that, you know what, I need to bust into this thing. You know, I told you last time, and took the thing apart, put it on YouTube. You know, bought new bearings for it in spring, which I bought from you. Thank you very much. And I'm glad that I did. I probably still may send it to him just to kind of make sure I didn't mess anything up.
While he was
Yeah.
doing it, I was
Polished up.
watching the video. I was shitting myself. I'm like, oh, don't do that.
Cheat says, do you work on your own guitars or she have a luthier? Obviously,
She's got a guy.
she's got a guy.
I got a guy.
She has the guy. Yeah. Jeff Babbitts.
Yeah, so Jeff worked at the original Steinberger factory.
R2D Tuna said, here's a link, but I don't think you can post
You
links
can post
in
links,
there.
I get blocked.
Cecil says, I like the Kalers. Sorry.
Well, you either love them or you hate them. I mean, Judas Priest, Slayer, they used the Kalers. Good enough. But I mean, I looked at one once and I was like, I don't want no part of that.
Well, Jerry
I heard something once, too,
Cantrell.
about soldering
Yeah.
your ball in so that you got to solder your strings so that
Well, on the TransTrem, that's another tip a lot of times too. If you obviously everybody knows what the end of a string looks like,
right?
you know, where it's
Big
wound.
Ball end, yeah.
But especially on the E string, a lot of times, like I think it was last week, last TransTrem Thursday, I broke a string, Natalie, while I was playing.
Yeah.
And what happened was this all just unraveled and it came out of the ball. So if you put a little drop of solder on that, that should help prevent
quick
that.
though. I mean, you don't want
cool.
to get that too hot, right? Because
Yeah, you'd have to be
you're
real
adjusting
careful
its
with it.
temper. If you're going to heat it up and cool it down, you're annealing it.
And that's kind of what I figured with it. The last set of strings I put on here lasted quite a while. You know, I had to continue to adjust the calibration a little bit as they settled. You know, there's a big debate on whether strings stretch or they settle.
They
A
settle.
lot of people say
fucking
that.
stretch. That's all there is to it.
I tend to agree with you, John. But yeah, a little drop of solder on the windings is a tip for the TransTrem. Because, you know,
If
you're...
they stretched, they would continually stretch. They wouldn't stretch and then stop stretching.
Well, they have
Shut up,
some
Trent.
elasticity to them, you would
Get me
think, right?
started.
You sound like the odd couple over there. Let's see. I might have missed it, but where were Steinbergers originally made?
They were originally made in Brooklyn, and after Brooklyn, Newburgh, and after Newburgh, Nashville.
Yeah, Adam had that there. Rob says Honey Grace for the Les Paul. I was thinking of any of y'all remember that movie Pulp Fiction, where in the restaurant he
Yes.
says honey bunny. I was thinking of maybe Honey Bunny as a
Honey
reference
Bunny's good.
to Pulp Fiction.
So do we have a cocktail or do we have a beer? Can we do a poll? Does Trev drink water?
Why don't you name it like something like Dave? This is my Les Paul Dave.
This is Jim, Bob. Yeah. Let's see.
Billy
Randy
Bob.
says, Natalie, what's your favorite non-Steinberger guitar?
ES 335.
ES335. You mentioned
Cherry.
that last time. Yeah. You said you had one of those at one time, or you still have it?
My dad had one.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Cheech is asking, what musical era are you from? I think you answered that with your artist earlier, just kind of all of them.
Yep.
Lydia.
I like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
My hand is feeling a little bit better. Should we try to play a little bit?
Good, I gotta go pull my
yeah.
potatoes out of the oven. So
All right. I'm going to see if I can do this. If it sounds horrible, I'm sorry. But let's see. All right, so anybody that's new to the channel and you're not sure what a Steinberger TransTrem will do is it allows you to change pitch of the strings and remain in tune with all the strings together. So Summer Nights is played 2 steps up for the intro, and then it drops back down to standard. So you can play intro in tune and then drop down. So let's see if I can do it. Well, hopefully I did it justice. Oh, no. Let me get that to end there. There we go. We got it. The end of that thing kind of gets scratchy.
Let's get on up.
So good.
Woo. So, yeah, it was still a little difficult to hold the pick, especially, you know, when you go to the finger pick and stuff. I have to tuck my pick in right there. Oh, that was so hard to do. So hopefully I did it justice. So.
That sounded great, Ryan.
Thank you. I
Awesome.
appreciate it. So, anybody that's not familiar with a TransTrem guitar, that's what you can do with it. So good, so good. And you don't know, just you didn't see the smile on my face as I'm playing that, but you know that. It just makes me grin every time.
Every time.
So, Gibson needs to bring these things back. Let's get the petition going. Let's get Gibson to make these again. What do we got going on in the chat here?
How do we start one of those? Something.org?
Probably.
TransTrem?
We need to look into it. We need to actually do it.
Revival.org?
Yeah, we need to actually do it. So let's look into it. See what we can figure out. Gibson needs to bring these back. There. Trev always likes that scream there at the end.
Oh, the Sammy scream. So good. I mean, I'm no stranger to Slayer and some, you know, War Ensemble. Yeah, lots of screaming. But that one there is just quintessential fucking scream for sure.
Cecil says, Natalie, Don's smiling down on you. Right on.
That means a lot.
Yep.
Hopefully all of it.
Yep, I think so too.
Is there anything new and exciting going on for you, Natalie? Did we
She talked about all that while you were gone, John. You missed it.
pulling out my scallop?
We had
potatoes?
the giveaway.
Yeah. Yeah, Natalie has
earrings?
brought a couple things for a
Yeah,
giveaway.
I'm selling earrings now.
You want to, let me get this here.
Transposing earrings.
Sorry, here I go again, all the way.
All right, let me come back here.
Have to
All right.
excuse my nails.
And let's put it here where folks can see it. So it's carbon fiber keychains, right?
Yep, these are made by
Very
Carbon
cool.
Centric.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Are we going to do 2 drawings for 2 different folks, or one person wins them both, or how do you
Sure.
want to do it?
So we can do 2 drawings, and you can either choose an L2 or an L series or an M series.
So the first winner gets to choose, or
Both get to choose either
both
an
can
L.
choose either or.
Yeah.
She's got
Yeah.
more.
Very cool.
Yeah, just two.
Right on.
Very cool.
Right
Now,
on.
are we allowed to? No.
No.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody that's in the chat and has been chatting for the evening is already entered. So all we need to do is pull it up, and I only have 46 entries. We've got 44 watching, so I think we're good to go. Let me get this over here where I can share.
Got to be here to win?
Got to be in it to win it, man.
Present.
Can we get R2 in here for being the judge?
He said he was doing something, rebooting a computer or something.
That was an hour ago.
Yeah, I know.
There he is. Good luck to you too, R2. If he doesn't join, he can still win.
Well, he can't.
Right.
It's a re-roll.
Okay, let's see. All right, so we are set to go. We ready for the giveaway? Let's do the first drawing.
Hell yeah.
And
Drum roll, please.
here we go. Brian Mooney, channel member Brian Mooney. Congratulations. Did we say he had to be here?
In it to win it, I think is what we said.
In it to win it? Brian, are you here?
Brian, we give him like a 3-minute countdown. You want to set a timer?
3 minutes, 30 seconds.
30 seconds. I can count that manually. I think we're looking at a clock right now. There it is in the corner. We're exactly an hour and a half in, so there you go.
Anybody knows Brian? Got a contact for him? Let him know he better get here.
Brian Mooney to the white courtesy telephone, please. Brian Mooney.
3, 2, 1. Next.
Well, let's just talk for a couple minutes and we'll see if he shows up.
I mean, like, how long does it take you to water a rock? You got to give him that much time.
Right? A couple minutes anyway. So what's next on the horizon, Natalie? You got any plans for, or anything that you can share with us at least? I know you probably have all kinds of cool stuff that you're working on.
So we're working on making a replacement necks.
Oh, right on.
So that's the big project.
Now, at one time, Steinberger worked with Moses. Is that right? Or Moses? I don't know how you say it.
So Moses made replacement necks, and yeah, there's quite a few. I can that could be. I could bring next week. I could bring all the manufacturers that have made necks before.
Very cool. Very cool. I've always wondered that. Was all of it made in house, or some of it was subbed out to different manufacturers? And it sounds like some of the necks were. Is that something that happened later on, or from the beginning, necks were made by someone else?
So I would say later on, necks were made by other people.
Okay.
And did you see what did you guys think of Ned's new prototype, besides not having a TransTrem? It was a carbon fiber.
His new
carbon
prototype?
Graphite. I thought we said it was going to be carbon graphite from now on. Come on, stick with it.
The one that was the one that was in the Premier Guitar article.
I didn't see that. I read.
He has his prototype in it.
I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to go back and look. What I read was online, and it was just on my phone, so I don't know if there was a picture that I missed. So I need to go check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Absolutely. All right. It looks like Mr. Brian Mooney is not going to show.
2.5 minute call. Time's up.
All right.
Roll it again, I guess.
We're calling it. Give you five more seconds. 5.
And that was pretty much a warning to everybody who was
4,
watering a rock to get back here because we're giving away shit.
3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Let's spin again. All right. Draw again.
At this
Here
point,
we
we
go.
get to tease Brian Mooney for losing. It's like when Bo lost out on the guitar that Ed won.
And the winner is Randy Price. I know Randy's here.
He just hashtag didn't.
Perfect loser.
Perfect.
Right on. Randy, just send me your email, and the email address is in the description there. And I think you know how to get a hold of me. I think we're on Facebook as well, so you can send me
your preference.
your address. Yeah, do you want the GL or the GM? It was a GM shape, right? Natalie?
Oh, yeah, L or M shape.
All right.
Go back to this. Oh, make that like that. Right. So you've got one that's like Ryan's and the other one that's like
Ryan's
Like a
other body.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, so you want to do 2 of them? We might be here for another 20 minutes.
well, let's cruise for 5 minutes. And you want to do them back to back?
Yeah. I think
All right,
we're
let's go.
about ready to wrap up. So,
All aboard.
all right. So here we go for the second winner. And drum roll.
We're up on the screen.
We got to go back to this thing.
Oh. Caitlin, are you in the
Okay.
chat?
Start the clock at 1 hour 34:30. Yeah.
So we'll give a few minutes there. Yep, there we are.
Right
So
on.
email me where to send it, address to send your prize to, and let us know which one that you would like. Randy's already said the GL.
Right.
So
In the GL category.
Natalie.
It's not an either or. They can pick whichever one they want.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah. Natalie's like, I'm out of here. We may have lost connection. Well, congratulations to the 2 winners. And email is in the description there. Just send the information of where to send them to, and I'll relay that to Natalie, and we'll get that to you. So, all right. Well, I appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. Let's go back here. And obviously, perfect timing because it looks like Natalie's having some technical difficulties. And so we want to thank Natalie for coming out. John, Trev, you guys hanging out, everybody in the chat. Big thank you there. Let's get over here. And let's see, we'll do this one here. So we're going to wrap things up.
Recount, says Herb.
Fair and square, man, I tell you. Fair and square.
Send your info to the email in the description. All right, go copy and paste it.
So we had Randy and Caitlin. Right on. Appreciate everybody coming out. We look forward already to the next time Natalie joins us. If you got questions that we didn't talk about, you think of later, email them to me, and we'll get with Natalie and see if she can get them
actually written down rather than stuck somewhere in my mind. Oh.
Yeah, and we'll see if we can get an answer for you. So I want to show appreciation for everybody that was here. Christopher Live Sova, R2, Andy, Patrick, Yostinator, Ferd. There she is. Welcome back.
There we go. She's back.
I lost power.
Oh, okay. We were just wrapping up. We were thanking everybody. Obviously, thank you, Natalie, for joining us. I told everybody if they had any questions, they could email me with the questions, and we can relay them to you. All the information for the winners, I'll get that to you as well. Mr. Rob Blackmore, official, Symmetry, Yostinator, Randy, Caitlin, big winner. Who else do we have in here? All Dave, All Night, Herb. Thank you to all the channel members, obviously. Again, thank you for your support. Really helps out all the support you guys are showing for the show, and we thank you once again. Absolutely. Also, thank Mr. Stephen Franklin and Mr. Andy Carson for your generous super chats tonight. We appreciate it. And you'd think I would learn how to do all these controls here by now. There we go.
Far too complicated.
Yeah. Well, there's so many click. They need to streamline this a little bit. They've got plenty of room over there for more stuff. You can just one click instead of having to go to different menus, but it works out. It does pretty good. So once again, Natalie, thank you very much. I had a blast. Appreciate you coming on, even though you felt a little under the weather. And we look forward to next time already. I'm already looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's awesome when you come on.
Had a great time.
Yep.
Well, thanks, guys.
Again.
All right. So I think that, until next time, we're going to be doing Sunday Chat and Jam. Sunday, 8 p.m. So we'll see everybody there. And we might have a pop-up. You never know. Set your notifications so you don't miss it. We like to just pop up at 2 a.m. and just jam and play. So make sure you set your notifications to on. If you're watching on replay, we appreciate you watching. If you're not subbed, please give a sub. And tell your friends, share, and help the channel grow. Let's get Steinberger back. Let's get that petition signed and get that sent to Gibson. So let's work on that too. All right. We'll see everyone next time. Until then.
Cheers.
See you, everybody.
Eddie Van Halen here, telling you, keep playing, man. Gotta keep playing. It's the only thing there is. Music, man. Keep playing. All right? I'm gonna come looking for you if you don't.